Hi, it's Victoria here from VMove. Tilly just come and jumped on my lap, so I'm just going to apologise because she likes to be stroked, does my little dog, don't you? Hey? I want to talk to you a little bit about something. I was having a read in one of our industry magazines this morning, and I just want to read it out to you because the figures are quite startling. So it says here, according to data from VMove now, it's revealed that almost half of all sales in England and Wales fell through before completion. That was in the final quarter of last year, so anything from October, November and December, 50% of sales fell through, and well, it was 49.8%. I think that is awfully high. So, thanks, Tilly. I mean, you can join in, but let's join in quietly. So the interesting thing is that prior to that, it wasn't quite that big. So things are happening between October, November and December. Now, what they did is broke it down by percentage, and they said that the seller receives a higher offer after a sale has been agreed. There was 19% of those. Survey issues causing a buyer to pull out 16%. Now, the one really big one for me is the next one. Difficulty securing a mortgage to purchase a property that you've had an offer agreed on, 13%. Now, I don't know how everybody else works, but we would never ever let our sellers agree, stop it Tilly, agree an offer or agree to a sale where a mortgage is not already been given in principle. So that led me to thinking, what are the other things? 10% of people pull out because they don't feel the sale is progressing enough. Chain collapses at the bottom, that's 9%. And a buyer wanted to reduce their offer after the sale had been agreed, 3%, which sometimes happens if there's been a poor survey or if something comes up and obviously things happen. So the interesting thing is 49.8% fell through in the last quarter. We did our statistics actually for 2018 and we came out at 13.8% of fall throughs, which is a far more security. So imagine in October, the middle of October, you agreed a sale and you have 50% chance of that sale falling through. I think that's far too high. So make sure if you're considering an agent that you ask them what their fall through rate was for the previous year and or the previous quarter. Be interesting to see. And make sure you're comfortable with that, because obviously it doesn't matter what price they get you if there's 50% chance of that falling through. So interestingly, that was from our industry news today that I was having a read of. Right, prevention, how can we prevent it? There is loads of ways you can prevent any of these things happening. So number one, get a better buyer. So the best way to get the best buyer for your home is to market it properly, follow a structured plan, and the structure and the process should deliver more than one buyer. And therefore you have the choice over buyers. Their individual circumstances can alter your perception of how much they stick with a sale. And obviously speak to your agent, ask them for their advice on, thanks Tilly, on the sale and the person who's offering. The other way that we can help prevent sales falling through is proper qualification. As we discussed before, make sure that when an offer is accepted, a few things happen. Number one, the chain is secure, so the estate agent that you're with, so us for instance, would go to the next level of the chain and then down again until we can find out who's buying, what circumstances they're at and what stage in the process they're at. And the same goes for then moving up the top of the chain as you buy on and the next person buys on. Finding out the length of the chain before any offers are accepted, so you can talk about how that might affect things in future, how it might affect timescales, because we don't want anybody feeling that the sale is not progressing. Also making sure that they're financially secure and that things can move through, so that they have the deposits that they need, they have the cash that they need, or they have a mortgage or some financial input to enable them to purchase the property. And the final one that's really important, and it's almost as if people don't see past offer stage. So when you're asking for an agent to come and value your property, and you're saying, great, this agent can get this much and they've got these many houses on and it's all wonderful, there's a stage that everyone forgets, and that's sale progression. So accepting the offer is a negotiation is a whole, probably a whole video in itself, but or several. The after part, the communication at the end, the sales progression, is so important. There's 3 stages to a property sale. That's the marketing, the negotiation, and the communication. The communication can help prevent fall-throughs, making sure that we know exactly what's happening at each point of the chain, making sure if things start to wobble, we're nipping that in the bud, making sure that everyone feels comfortable and confident to continue, making sure... Is there any more, Katie? There's loads of things that sales progressors do. Katie's just behind the camera, and I didn't write all the different things that they did on there. I wasn't intending on telling you, but interestingly, a sales progressor, hi Tilly, must be, where possible, completely dedicated solely to sales progression. So no interrupting phone calls, no nothing that can distract from the process of making sure that your sale goes from agreement to exchange and completion. We have an Alison who does that all for us. She doesn't do anything else but that. It's probably her on the phone. So those are the things. In order to prevent the 50% fall through rate, there's loads of things that you can do. So